Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to History of the World, where we focus on famous people and events that have shaped. So now, with the magnificent voice of Dylan Slinker and I, we shall give you the most successful man in the world.
John D. Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839 in Richford, New York, between Binghamton and Ithaca. He was the second of 6 children. His father was a pitch doctor and said he could cure cancer just to make money, and his mom taught him to save his money and to give to charity.
Years later, at age 12, he saved over $50 for working for neighbors and around the house. A year later, his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he attended high school from 1853 to 1855.
He was great at math and was on the debate team. However, at a school that encouraged public speaking, Rockefeller was only average.
In 1855, after finishing school, he began to look for work, primarily as a bookkeeper or a clerk. Business wasn't booming at the time, making it harder for Rockefeller to find a job. Cleveland wasn't as large as it is now, meaning he can go to every single business in a short amount of time.
However, he achieved his goal on September 29, 1855. He finally got a job in Cleveland. His employer, Hewitt and Tuttle, commissioned merchants and product shippers, where he was an assistant bookkeeper.
After switching from job to job, in 1862, he began to invest in what made him famous, oil. 3 years later, at only the age of 24, he had bought out the Clark Brothers oil business for only $72,500.
During this time, he invested and borrowed heavily to create his greatest creation that would make him the most successful man in the world, a little company called Standard Oil. Rockefeller and his business partners gained 10% of the nation's oil when the company was created.
In just 2 years, Standard Oil had purchased and controlled almost every single refining firm in Cleveland. The company continued to grow and grow like a little puppy. And in 1882, all the properties were merged into the Standard Oil Trust. That trust was first worth at $70 million. However, that grew to a large amount of $200 million. Easily to say that Rockefeller got money.
By the end of the century, over 80% of America was served by Standard Oil carts that delivered their product to local businesses. They wanted to be successful to the smallest of towns to the largest of cities.
However, this was not all successful critically. That policy, only successful for a short amount of time, made the company unpopular and increased its chances for political attack.
Around that time, the trust was dissolved in 1892. Shortly after, Rockefeller had a nervous breakdown and resigned from the company. He had lost all of his hair and even his eyebrows and suffered from ill health in the middle of the 1890s. He could not keep all that he had gained for himself. His fortune was worth $900 million.
He donated nearly all of that to charities and had set up his own organization, the Rockefeller Organization, that is, in 1913. By 1929, he had transferred over $235 million to.
Rockefeller passed away on May 23, 1937, at the age of 98. At the time of his death, his estate was only worth $26 million. He had given most of the property he had to his family and his heirs.
Rockefeller deserves the name the most successful man in the world. He started his rise to business at a very young age and built to become one of the largest businessmen in the world, and has changed the face of the oil industry. His charity was also looked upon to be many as great.
A rich man indeed. That does it for today's edition of History of the World. I'm Joe Northern. Go make history. Be well.